Rise and fall of Project IGI. The IGI game franchise is well known among PC gamers who have at least dabbled with FPS shooting games at some point in their lives. Project IGI and IGI 2 Covert Strike, both based on the single-player stealth shooting concept, were two of the most popular video games of the early 2000s. It foregoes many classic shooters' outrageous future weapons and fantastical locations in favor of present reality. This was a highly popular game among then Gen Zs during their school days as far as many could remember. Due to its low demanding hardware requirements, easy availability, and engaging gameplay, it was ahead of its time without a doubt. This series was a staple in many gamers' PCs and also garnered quite a following as years went by. It surely holds a special place in people's memories with everything that the games provided, albeit with its unavoidable flaws and all. Regardless, it is an iconic cornerstone in FPS stealth shooter games without a shadow of a doubt. In Project IGI, I'm Going In, you play as David Llewellyn Jones, a former member of the Special Air Service, who now serves as an independent agent for both the British and American governments throughout the game. The game combines stealth, undercover surveillance, and high-powered firefights at top-secret sites, and it has a lot of the adrenaline and risk of the late Cold War James Bond flicks. Your job is to assist in the recovery of a stolen nuclear device and the prevention of a nuclear attack. The game starts in the old Soviet Union, and your first mission is to save a client who has crucial nuclear secrets and is being kept and interrogated at a military base in Estonia. The story is told mainly through in-engine cut scenes at the start and end of each objective, and they are visually appealing. Their spectacular angles and lighting effects approach film quality at times, though the plain dialogue can be tedious at times and the cast of characters isn't particularly interesting. The missions have a genuine flavor of them. Even though you're a great agent, you're only one man, not a one-man force. As a result, you'll have to spend a lot of time crawling through the shadows, infiltrating past security cameras, accessing computers to disable monitoring systems, and scouting the area using binoculars. Fast and furious skirmishes happen when you stumble into the eventual showdown with guards. Because of the game's focus on realism, you'll require rapid reflexes. Even if he's wearing body armor, a few shots can bring the hero's life to a brutal end. You can only recover your health by obtaining a medical kit from a hospital, assuming one exists in the area. You'll get to employ various ingenious devices in addition to your guns, as much of the action is on stealth and cautious monitoring. Your binoculars feature night vision and a digital compass, and they zoom out to extremely vast distances seamlessly. You also have a PDA on which you keep track of your mission objectives. While the musical score isn't particularly memorable, it is well crafted, and its tense tone works well with the game's action. The voice actors are decent, and sometimes the Russian or Estonian guards will yell at you in English rather than their local dialect. The sound effects don't have the same flaws as the dialogue. In fact, they're frequently outstanding. Each weapon has a distinct set of noises, and explosions are appropriately loud. The sound of your footfall changes, depending on the terrain you're walking on and whether you're sprinting or treading softly. The sound effects in all areas and environments are also fantastic. While none of the individual components of Project IGI are particularly unique, they all work well with each other. The missions are well-paced, with a good mix of suspenseful stealth and spectacular fighting. The game succeeds to be interesting overall by combining military firefights with careful stealth, and the settings and surroundings are incredibly genuine. IGI 2 Covert Strike, which is the sequel to the first IGI game, was then released in 2003. You begin it by infiltrating a mountain facility in order to recover electromagnetic technology, which might be extremely dangerous in the wrong hands. As the game continues, you'll discover that things are a lot trickier than you first believed. It's time for some retribution and a little fun with some good old-fashioned murder. In IGI 2, the balance of action and stealth is quite good. It's something between a Splinter Cell game and an action shooter. While it is possible to finish most levels simply shooting anything you see, doing so is extremely difficult. Enemy AI has tremendous range and can hit you from hundreds of feet away. As a result, you'll have to rely on stealth and forethought to complete the majority of the tasks. This is exactly how the game was intended to be enjoyed, and it works perfectly. The GPS map is the first and most important of these, and it's a welcome return from Project IGI. You can zoom in, out, down, up, over, and around just about anything outside using this satellite location map. It will display you not just the buildings, terrain, and cover places, but also any cameras and opponents in the area. With the new saving method, everything is a lot more doable. You'll have a certain amount of saves to use in this sequel based on the difficulty you chose. This allows individuals who require assistance a chance, as well as those who seek a challenge, the opportunity to complete a faultless run through a level, which will be very hard to pull off in some cases, I think. Your map system is where you save your progress. The textures on the majority of the objects are very wonderfully done. The weapons in particular are extremely well made and look fantastic. This time around, multiplayer is a key part of the IGI mix. Fans of the original who have been screaming for the update will be ecstatic with what they see. It's a cross between Covert Strike and global operations in the sense that one side must fulfill several objectives, while the other defends. Before being thrown into the game, players have the option of purchasing whatever weapons they desire, and they will earn additional money for killing and fulfilling tasks. IGI 2 is a huge step forward from its forerunner. It does have a lot of the planning and timing that players appreciated a lot. What is also great about it is that it is possible to battle your way out of horrible situations. You can demonstrate that you're a badass undercover agent. There are stages that demand more preparation and sneaking, such as blowing things up without a trace of concealment, and levels that require both as well as quick thinking. Unfortunately for IGI 2, it was yet another title to face backlash for portraying the Chinese military as adversaries. The game was reportedly prohibited due to a segment in which a mercenary player infiltrated a Chinese military base and stole intelligence from it. The game has broken China's gaming laws that ban the introduction and distribution of games that harm China's national dignity and interests, according to Chinese journalists. There's one more intriguing twist in this tale. It came out that the game's distributor, Codemasters, had never launched the game in China. This implies China has outlawed a game that was already being unlawfully bootlegged or purchased by Chinese gamers and dealers. However, the popular series did not return with any new games for a long period after that. Toadman Interactive released a teaser trailer for a fresh new IGI game called Igi Origins on all their social media. Igi Origins will be a prequel to the series, set in the 1980s and featuring a classic espionage game that gamers are already acquainted with. Igi Origins, unlike Project IGI or IGI 2 Covert Strike, will let gamers choose between male and female characters. Regent will also take over the role of David Jones, the series' primary character. IGI Origins isn't coming out anytime soon. According to the official announcement, the game will be released on PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation in around late 2022. However, there has been no indication of a specific release date. Currently, the game can be found on Steam. It is unquestionably a deal-breaker for Project IGI or Project IGI 2 fans, as both games were quite popular at the time. As a result, as word of the release hit social media, the information spread rapidly. Gamers who spent a substantial amount of their childhood playing the franchise are eagerly anticipating the arrival of this potential masterpiece. Although there are concerns since a lot of time has passed between the second game in the series and a lot of the initial hype has died. Many players have fallen out of playing it as things have progressed rapidly in this genre as well as the gaming world. There is a lot of room for failure, and unless the game is spectacularly different and unique, it might find it difficult to live up to the popularity and weight of its predecessors.
حافظ على المكان